Maharashtra elections 2024, whether Mahavikas Agadi wins, whether Mahayuti wins, whether Manse gets it right this time, or the Muslim-leaning factions like AIMIM or Samajwadi Party, would they come back strongly? Who will be the winner? Well, one thing is for sure. I don't know who will be the winner, but I know who is the loser. And the loser is the average voter like you and me. Welcome everybody. Maharashtra elections are underway. I'm sure everybody must have cast their votes. This is the only time we are being felt important. The only time when politicians come to our door and they ask for votes. Otherwise, once this is done, then for the next 5 years, forget meeting that politician. Even to get within a 1 square kilometer of that particular politician is going to be an arduous task, because the bodyguards and the security guys are going to shoo you away like an unwanted creature. But that's polity. Well, now as far as Maharashtra elections is concerned, our moot point in this discussion is voters. You have voted. You have voted for certain things. You have voted for an ideology. You have voted for an allegiance that you have towards a particular party or a group. But then, guys, at the end of the day, is your vote going to be on the same side of the ideology or the theory or the political flavor that you have? Chances are it is not. 2024 elections. So now there is a Mahavikas Agadi and there is a Mahayuti. If I have to broadly understand where the ideologies are, one is a pro-Hindu, other I wouldn't call it an anti-Hindu, but surely pro-secular, so-called secular. So voter has an ideology. Now, whatever it is now, whether you're a pro-Hindu or you're a dubbed secular, that's a different story. Everybody has their own ideologies, and one should. So you have two Senas, two NCPs, and two national parties, and along with that, you have small factions like MNS, who has a wavering ideology. One doesn't know where it goes, but right now it stands for pro-Marathi Manus and also pro-Hindu. Then you have a Samajwadi Party clearly leaning towards Muslim, AIMIM leaning towards Muslim. So be it. But the point is, you have voted for a certain ideology, assuming that you have voted for a pro-Hindu or a secular or a Muslim, whatever it is. I mean, that apart, what happens? What happens in a case that Maharashtra does not have a clear majority and the mandate stands fractured? So no party or no coalition is by itself in a position to form the government. Now you see the real fun begins. How voter is going to be taken for granted. So now, assuming that Mahayuti has a lesser number of votes and Mahavikas Agadi has more, so now they are short of some. You never know. Ajit Dada Pawar may cross the line and go back to his uncle, stating that probably he wants to reunite, as his uncle did when the grand old man of Maharashtra, Sharad Pawar Sahab, walked out of Congress way back in 1978 to form his own party, and only to merge that party with Congress during the Rajiv Gandhi era. So also he walked out of Congress with foreign national PM agenda of Sonia Gandhi, only to form coalition governments with Congress over the next 10-15 years. So in a similar vein, Ajit Dada Pawar walks over and joins Sharad Pawar Sahab. That's one. Secondly, Mahayuti is short of some kind of a majority, and now Uddhav Thackeray Sahab walks over and joins the Mahayuti, saying that now I'm leaning back towards Hindutva, and there is one shivsena, so they placate Eknath Shinde Sahab also, and Uddhav Thackeray is now a part of this government. So here is a gentleman who has clearly sacrificed and almost burned all the ideals of his illustrious and the legendary father Balasaheb Thackeray, who was blatantly against Congress, blatantly against Muslims, and clearly a pro-Hindu. And his son, for whatever his political compulsions are, is now opposing the Waqf Act, where Waqf land he is trying to protect. He is now the new messiah of Muslim votes, and so be it. If it is good for him, that's his problem. But again, the voters are taken for granted. In the first case, when Ajit Dada Pawar goes back to MVA or Uddhav Thackeray comes back to Mahayuti. So what are we saying? Okay, one more case. Mahayuti government again falls short, and Pawar Saab, in his own peculiar style, announces that okay, we don't want any further next election to be loaded on Maharashtra because that costs exchequer a lot. So I am going to be supporting the government only to save the money that will be spent on the next election. How magnanimous it is and how convenient. And so again, Pawar Saab joins, and with open arms, again the BJP, Modi Saab and Shah Saab and whoever, they welcome Sharad Pawar Saab. So imagine. So and there could be many more permutation combinations. I would be surprised if the Muslim-leaning parties like AIMIM or for that matter Samajwadi Party also join hands with one or two of these factions, clearly with a different ideology than what these guys represent. So at the end of the day, what are we saying? We are saying that the average voter who fights tooth and nail in the social circles, on the social media, supporting one ideology, even to the extent of creating enmities among friends, enmities among relatives because you're so pro a particular group, is now being taken for a royal ride by this set of politicians. Because none of the party, whether it is the national level party like Congress or BJP or even the other smaller parties, will say that okay, we don't have a mandate, we want to go and sit in the opposition. That stand they will never take. They will fight tooth and nail to see that they form in government, they come into power, and that's what it boils down to. Forget your social service, forget your ideologies, forget the kind of beliefs that you have, that's just a facade. At the end of the day, promise you, if anybody is going to lose, is not the politicians, not the coalitions, not the groups. The average voter like you and me are going to be at the receiving end, and we are going to be losing. Let's think about it.